What's up, people? Today I'm gonna be talking about the only 3 bicep exercises you need to grow some huge biceps. Do my biceps look big in this? Yeah, man, yeah. But before we even get to the exercise, skip over to this time if you wanted to go straight to the informational part. But I wanted to update you guys on my testosterone results. So, all right guys, it is 11:20 p.m. at night. My testosterone results finally came in. So let me get a live reading of this.
Oh, there you go, that's perfect.
And put the camera on me after. So what does it say? See details. 805. Well, you know, I'm not surprised that I'm on the top range.
So the irony of this reaction is that my free testosterone, which is the portion of testosterone that's actually bioavailable and contributes to stuff that we deem to be beneficial, such as building muscle, is actually on the lower end, especially compared to my higher total testosterone number.
Okay, so before we go work out, we're gonna have some My Protein iced coffee whey. Now I've been using almond milk or regular milk on this, so I'm gonna try it with water. I wanna see how it differs. Okay, I'm gonna add ice so it's not as like nasty looking. Wow. Actually looks pretty good. I'll add the rest of mine. God. All right, cheers guys. Pretty good.
Honestly, I think I like it better with water.
With water, right?
Yeah.
It's not as like rich and decadent. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see y'all at the gym. All right, guys. We have arrived to LA Fitness in Lakeview. About to hit this bicep workout. All right, so when it comes to biceps, I hate when people say, oh man, all you really need is like a bicep curl and then like hammer curls. Like, you can get a lot more specific than that. Bicep curls tend to be a very like mentally demanding exercise where it's hard to really commit to training to failure. I personally get bored of the monotony of just doing like a regular standing easy curl bicep exercise, which is why I'm making this video. All right, ready? So you might be wondering, okay, how can you further complicate bicep training in that case? Well, when it comes to exercise choice, I think of 3 different factors. 1, the resistance curve of the exercise, which dictates what part of the movement you're focusing on. Your shoulder position, which will dictate whether you're training the biceps in a shortened or lengthened position. Position's the key word. And thirdly, the degree of shoulder rotation you have, either internally rotated or externally rotated, which impacts what head of the biceps you're training. So those are the 3 factors. Keeping that in mind, let's move on to the first exercise. So this is a bicep video, but I'm also gonna talk about the, call it other muscles that also contribute to elbow flexion that kind of help out the bicep as well. So we're gonna start off with specifically bicep exercises, and then we're gonna move on to the brachialis as well as the brachioradialis. So first exercise we got is a machine preacher curl. Now, this specific exercise is gonna be training the bicep in a shortened position, meaning arms in front of our body with shoulder flexion, okay? Additionally, I recommend finding a preacher curl where the preacher curl rest is more vertical, okay? In this case, this is a very downward facing preacher curl machine compared to, let's say, the one next to us over here, which is a lot more, it's gonna be a lot more upright. The reason being I chose this exercise first is with this vertical angle, this is gonna be focusing not only in a shortened shoulder position, if we're talking about the focus of the movement, this is gonna be a shortened focus bicep curl where the hardest part is gonna be up here. Now, if your preacher curl is a little bit more upright and your arms are like out here, it's like not the end of the world. I can suggest an alternative, which would be the spider curl. But I love using this exercise because of how stable it is. I pretty much never do like free weight preacher curl stuff. I exclusively work on a machine. Pretty much why I chose it as my first exercise. Let me get another set. Second exercise is a standing bicep curl with an eccentric focused tempo. I like using like 2 to 4 second tempo, and personally, my favorite is doing it on the easy curl bar. Now there's pretty good alternatives to this. One would be if you have a preacher curl rest, you can lean up behind it and basically do like a seated or standing dumbbell curl with the preacher curl rest so that you get more stability. And like I mentioned earlier, bicep is a very hard exercise to commit to training to failure. So a quick tip is do whichever form of bicep curl you personally prefer. I love doing the easy curl. I think personally, I feel I can get better mind-muscle connection with it, which is why this is my choice. And because this is a regular standing bicep curl, think of it as the default everything, right? Shoulder position pretty much at your side. From a resistance curve perspective, it's gonna be focusing at the mid-length, so right, literally 90 degrees, right? Right at the halfway point of the bicep curl is gonna be the hardest part, which is why I started out with a preacher curl that focuses more on that shortened position at the top, because in general, if you're thinking about exercise order, you wanna start with something that's more shortened focus, because that short and most contracted position is generally gonna be the hardest for you to get to. So this is the second exercise. Let me take another set to failure. So this exercise is optional, but this is gonna be a rocking face-away cable bicep curl. Now, I was debating whether to choose this exercise or the seated incline dumbbell curl, which is like my personal favorite. But if I'm being unbiased, this has inherent advantages that a seated incline dumbbell curl doesn't. So first off, in terms of shoulder position, we're gonna be in an extended position, meaning we're gonna be training our bicep more at a lengthened position. And generally with a conventional face-away curl, when it comes to the resistance curve, the hardest part is gonna be the point where my forearm creates a 90-degree angle with the cable, which with a conventional face-away curl, it'll be around this point, this bottom portion here, right? And because of that, it's gonna be, my arm was over here, it's gonna be more focusing on the lengthened position of the bicep curl. Now that is a little bit of a difference compared to a seated incline dumbbell curl, where if you really think about it, your bicep's gonna be in more a lengthened position because your shoulder's back. However, when you actually go for the curl, you're gonna figure out that the 90-degree angle is created more at the top of the movement, making it technically more focused on the shortened range of the bicep curl. And that's why in the beginning of this video, I wanted to make it very clear there's different factors. Your shoulder position doesn't necessarily dictate whether you're actually focusing more in a lengthened position or focusing more in a short position in the bicep curl. So getting back to the face-away curl, the reason why I chose this isn't only because you can focus on the lengthened portion, but also if you add this rocking motion that I do, you're gonna be able to hit the peak tension twice. First portion in this normal lengthened portion, but if you rock with it, you're gonna see that I follow that 90-degree angle with the position of my biceps. So if I rock forward, we're gonna hit a second peak tension where at this point in this bent over position, this is gonna be the hardest part of the movement compared to if I'm standing up here. Well, I can hold this all day. Okay, enough talking, let's hit another set.
Now, before I get into the third exercise, if you're currently watching this and you're thinking, Tyler, honestly, I do not know where to start. I just want a good workout program, potentially a meal plan, and someone to answer all my specific fitness questions, maybe even help me stay accountable, then I highly recommend you apply to my exclusive one-on-one fitness coaching program where if you're accepted, I'll create a custom workout program and meal plan based on your specific needs and pretty much guide you through getting to your fitness goals. You'll have access to ask me all of your specific questions, so if that sounds interesting to you, check the link in the description and apply soon because spots are limited.
Ooh. Okay, so the third and final exercise is a cable crossbody hammer curl. Now, the alternative to this is using a conventional dumbbell. The problem with dumbbell hammer curls is if I'm doing crossbody, the dumbbells end up touching, so I have to do it unilaterally. And I just don't really like unilateral biceps training as a whole. When I have the opportunity to, I prefer doing things bilaterally. So with the cable setup, I'm able to use both brachialis at the same time without running into that issue of any dumbbells touching, right? Now, because this is a hammer curl, we're gonna be biceping the brachialis, which is a muscle that sits underneath your bicep. And the idea with training your brachialis, even though you can't see it, is the bigger your brachialis gets, the more it pushes your biceps brachii outward, so like overall you have like a bigger looking bicep, more pop to your bicep. Now on top of this, this also trains, not to be confused with the brachialis, the brachioradialis, which is this forearm muscle right here, this literal one right here. So this one's actually viewable, okay? Mainly from outside angle, it's this thing right here. Now some people say that using a pronated grip, like a reverse curl, is better for your brachioradialis, but the problem with a pronated grip is your actual grip is a limiting factor. I never really enjoyed doing reverse curls, and honestly, I think I got away with it. So this was technically the last exercise, but I'm gonna give you one more alternate exercise. So let's get that after we do another set of failure. So this optional exercise is the landmine reverse curl. Like I mentioned, I don't really recommend a regular, normal, pronated reverse curl, but why I like the landmine reverse curl so much is the fact that you kind of best of both worlds with targeting your brachioradialis as well as your brachialis. In this bottom portion, you're gonna be more in this pronated grip to hit the brachioradialis, and as you get higher, you kind of get to more of like a halfway between pronated and neutral grip, which allows you to really feel it in both the brachialis and brachioradialis. I guess the only downside is it's kind of hard to load because this I can barely handle more than like 8 reps on this. But yeah, this is an excellent exercise. Shout out to Eugene Teo as well as John Meadows, RIP. I saw they made a great video on this. Let me hit this other side, we can get out of here. this workout, you may have noticed I did not talk a thing about shoulder rotation or biasing the short head over the long head. And the reason being is for most people, that's really not necessary, right? I'm trying to make this as bare bones of a bicep workout as possible while still hitting different variations that are focusing on different lengths and all that stuff, right? But when it comes to biasing short head versus long head, it's really not necessary. But if you want to know anyways, if you're internally rotating your arm, you're going to be more short head focused. If you're externally rotating, it's going to be more long head focused, okay? Now, it has nothing to do with your shoulder angle, right? Your shoulder position. Just being in a shortened position doesn't mean you're gonna be biasing the short head. And on the flip side, being shoulder extended doesn't mean you're gonna be biasing the long head either. You need more of the external rotation for the long head as well as the internal rotation for a short head, such as in a concentration curl, or if you're doing like an incline dumbbell curl and you're externally rotating, that's a good option as well. So with that said, let's get to the food. We arrived to Lawrence Fish Market. About to have some sushi. This place basically has like really affordable sushi for a good price. Let's see the menu. It's what me and Raymond got last time. I'm thinking, for anything A1 sound good? Dragon, spider, California, spicy onion. That's like, yeah, 5 rolls for that price is actually really good.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll just have A1. Real quick, guys. Sweet chili Thai sauce. So good. Maple is a good brand for this too. You can eat this with like grilled chicken or do pretty much anything. This goes well with that, like, everything. You guys gotta watch the sugar though, because there's a good amount of sugar in it. Yeah, it's 14 grams of added sugar, so that's not the healthiest thing, but great way to make bland chicken breast taste better. All right, so what we got here is looks like a shrimp tempura roll. Then over here is an eel roll. Then we got spicy tuna, California roll. Then my personal favorite, spider roll. Not the healthiest. I think the raw fish stuff is better, but it's not all that bad. It's not too many fried things, so let's chow down. Combine to this eel roll. Oh, there's California in it too. So it's like an eel / dragon roll kind of thing. It's good. So good. Now before I end this video, let's recap the information, because I know some of the concepts in this video is going to be a little bit confusing. So to recap, Machine Preacher Girl is going to train the bicep in a shortened position, and depending on the angle of the preacher machine, it should be a mid-length to shortened focused bicep curl. Standing bicep eccentric curl is going to be predominantly focusing on the eccentric portion of the lift. However, when it comes to resistance curve as well as shoulder position, you're going to be in a neutral shoulder position with arms at your side, and movement is going to be focused on the mid-length portion of the bicep curl. And with the rocking face away curl, that is going to be a bicep curl focused on the lengthened position as well as the shortened position, because you're leaning over and you're doing that rocking motion. In terms of shoulder position, you're going to be in a lengthened position while doing the bicep curl. Then with the crossbody hammer curl, that's going to be focusing more on your brachialis as well as your brachioradialis. And then the landmine reverse curl is going to be focusing on brachioradialis as well as the brachialis. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, as it supports my page. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.